Hello.
We are live, I think. Good morning, and y'all. HRP with its shit not together. Surprise, surprise. Jessica cannot hold us all together single-handedly.
It's very difficult. But let's
herding cats.
Start this podcast. It's delayed. I don't know. It was delayed for a second.
It's fine now. Yeah, we've got delays. We've got missing links. It's going to be a good one today, guys. So buckle up.
Yeah, let's go through the sponsors fast so we can get Adam on here. He looks like he's doing something.
He looks like he's like 90s TV technical problems.
VetDNA.com for all of your testing needs. Use code #ShitHappens for $5 off the crypto panel. VetDNA.com. Thank you, Growl. You're our favorite.
She took it down too early. I had a whole van of white swoosh.
Let's keep it moving. All right, what we have some other sponsors. Can you tell us about them?
Yeah, OG Shane Kelley, Small Town Xotics, Justin with Stoneage Ball Pythons, Chris with BNS Reptilia, Eileen with Bravo Zulu, Roger and Lori Gray Family Snakes, and Andy with Powerhouse Pythons. Thank you for sponsoring the show.
Thank you so much. All right, Adam looks ready.
Is it true? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I even finished like my finger pointing, like finger pistols before I came on. I'm good.
Oh, you got it out of your system.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's always good to have those gone.
No, I gotta have them all the time. Sorry. Do you want me to run through who's here, or are we just gonna skip it and say hello to everybody in general?
I don't know. No, fuck it. We'll do more like highlighting comments from the chat because it's supposed to be sort of roundtable-y. So if the chat wants to comment on the topic, we have some like touchstone topics and then our like battle topic. We'll see where we end up and whatever Adam wants to talk about.
I'm here for the ride. This is I got enough podcast responsibilities. I'm good.
All right, Adam.
You can't softball them to me like that all day.
Again. I think the internet's ruined.
The internet was ruined for me this morning, but this isn't my fault.
All right, real quick before we like really get into it, I didn't know this, but Wayne Rivera has a charity auction on Facebook as well as the GoFundMe, and I didn't know that. So like lots have gone off without much interest. So I wanted to. It's in the show notes. So if you see something you like, it'll be donated to his son's recovery. Medical stuff for his son, Tristen. So check it out if there's something you like or you want to post something also. Okay.
Yeah, he shaved the beard just for us.
I looked absolutely homeless this morning. My wife and son are out of town. I've immediately I just revert back to like a dirty 19-year-old in college. So yeah, I tidied up. I did all right, I think.
What he's saying is his wife's going to be back, and he doesn't want to get told he looks homeless.
Well, she will be. No, that's not till Monday. But yeah, that definitely would have been done by Monday. But I was like, man, if I'm going to go on a show and put up my banner, the least I could do is look like I have a home. You give me the skeevy dude slinging snakes. You got to be the clean cut dude.
I mean,
it is like the worst podcast ever, so it's okay if you're skeevy on HRP. I don't know. What do you think, Jessica?
Yeah, I think that's like par for the course. Skanks and skeeves around here.
Right. So Wayne is Cue Ball Morphs. He's PNW local that we know. He was on one of our auctions. His son was shot. And so that's what this is all to fund and help is the medical bills and his recovery, which is probably going to be a long process.
Links in the show notes. I put them in this morning because I just discovered the presence of the Facebook recently. Okay, let's talk about shows, Adam, about how they suck balls. I want you to
She wants you to suck balls. That's what I heard.
So you've been on a show journey. You're on show. What show number are you on? 8? 7?
8 or 9? Yeah. Well, you're keeping better track than me. Yeah, I think the one coming up is going to be 9. I think Orlando in July Repticon will be number 9 for me.
And do you like shows now? Are you a convert?
Yeah, like I'm like, yeah, I like them like I like music gigs. Like I'm like, man, I want to do a show. Like I'm ready. Like I'm in. I'm on board. I'm complete polar opposite of your opinion.
Well, okay. So then my next question is like, do you think recommending shows to people universally is a wise idea?
I don't know if it's wise. It works for me. I don't know. I've become like the old man. Like I don't know what works for other people, but I know it works for me. I probably have a different perception of or higher tolerance for some risk than you all do. I know we've talked in depth before about it. So there is, there is the concern of speaking of skeevy hands and that stuff. Like there is that concern. So I try and watch that. I've gotten lucky with who I'm vending around. I've heard horror stories in other markets, but I haven't experienced them. So I have experienced the no revenue shows. Like I had to plow through those and keep going. But lately they've been fantastic.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the problem is I don't have a big enough sample size to say like, hey, the repeat customers and the facial recognition and all of those things that is supposed to come with marketing and doing the hard work. I think that's it, but I don't know. But knock on wood, I haven't had a $0 show in ages, and they've steadily increased. Like it.
When you say a $0 show, do you mean breaking zero, or do you mean zero in general? Like
zero in
costs?
general.
Okay.
Yeah. So 3 of my 8 shows were a grand total of $72 gross revenue before costs. I had 2 0 shows and I had a 1 entry show. And I was pretty down in the dumps. And
that can ruin you for a while for shows.
Yeah. I had already paid entry fees, which was a key to me keeping on because I'm too cheap to just abandon money. So I went to the next one and I kept going, and good things started to happen.
Well, are they the same shows, the same locations, or are they whatever different?
Yeah. Jacksonville was a $0 show right here in my own backyard, my hometown.
Ouch.
$0 show. And then the next one was my best show ever. It was great. I think I cracked 3 on that one.
That's what you want. That's what you want to say.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean a $1,500 average. Okay, cool. But yeah, the 0 was a beast. So those both were in Jacksonville. The other $0 one was in Lakeland, and I'm probably not going to go back to Lakeland. That's a long drive. It's not convenient to where I stay, so there's a lot of commuting. And I didn't sell anything. So that was horrible. And then the other one that I sold the entry at, that was a different brand. That was a Show Me Snakes show, which don't have as big of a market presence here in Florida and the Florida market. So that was a 1-day show smack in the middle of suburbia in like a church banquet hall. And it was nothing but a petting zoo. I mean, just you could have crowd surfed across the kids that wanted to pet. Like that's it. That's all it was that day. So I haven't been back to that show. I need to suck it up and stay active in my own market, but that was a hard one to go after.
Not unless you're going to set up like a $5 picture booth.
Yeah. Like that's not the business I want to be in. No. I could do it. It works, but that's not what I want.
You might as well not bring any animals, but the ones they're taking pictures with, if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your thought, Jessica?
What I think should happen though is there should be like a rubric for is a show worth doing for each individual person. Instead of saying like everyone should do shows or no one should do shows, you should apply like the rubric financially. And I do think you probably need multiple instances at the same show at the same location to have a fair assessment, especially across time. But some people can do the exact same show you do with the same crowd and do awesome by whatever that standard is for them. And you could do whatever. And just because you bring different kinds of animals or whatever, like everyone's like Reptile Nation is like the best. Well, it's the best for people who sell hognose. Okay. It's fine for everybody else, in my opinion. But people don't like to talk about it like it's a rubric that's like very personal where you plug in your variables because I don't know, we're idiots and we don't like to communicate effectively or something. So people are like, but and so then people will go to shows and make no money like 8 or 10, 12 times in a row and not stop and be like, it's not worth it. I'm also very slow.
Oh, it just caught you up. Like
I know.
Went crazy for a second.
Are you hiding?
Let me jump out
in your internet.
I've never been hardlined in my internet. It's
Maybe
just
you should hardline that
this
shit.
day.
Yeah.
All right, respond. I'll just like jump out and come back.
Yeah, and I'm cool to pick it apart. And I think you're exactly right because we all got different resources. We all got different needs, all overhead. So my process or my rubric for a show is I never have yet gotten a hotel room, so I don't have that overhead. I have
that's awesome.
Right? Yeah. So I mean, it's suddenly there's context that makes sense. So suddenly there's what $250 probably at least for 2 nights that I don't have to deal with. So there's that. I only use one table, so I only have one table of overhead. Now, some people say you fall apart in the crowd or get lost in the crowd. So maybe that's where some of my recognition or maybe that's improving or I don't know. So I only get one table. I now have 3 ARS displays and 1 tower. So I really pack in what's on there. But honestly, the hotel and the distance, I guess the farthest show that I've done is Tampa, and that's 3 hours door to door. Actually, Lakeland Lakeland is geographically closer, but to actually get there is longer and takes more time. So Lakeland is like 3.5 hours. Tampa's 3 hours from me. That's the farthest. So no hotels, 1 table, 3 display and 1 tower overhead. And that's kind of been my process. So a lot of times if I don't have to pay for electricity, I'm only in for like $125 and some time and gas.
So I'm going to chime in here. In my experience, I have done 1 table, 2 tables, and 3 tables. 2 tables is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
You can put up information about your podcast. If you don't like just to fill the table, you can put up if you're selling pet quality animals instead of like breeder quality animals at your local shows, you can put an example ball python enclosure to fill out the space.
Mm-hmm.
I just find when you have a corner and you can put your big banner behind you at like a kitty corner, it's true. You don't get as lost.
Right.
That was my experience.
Yeah. I need to, like I say, I tend to be kind of cheap and I kind of,
Oh, I can hear you squeaking from here.
I
get 2 tables and you're like, I don't want to.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to yet. My other problem, it's also why I have a small house, is I will buy to fill whatever I have. So like if I know I'm getting 2 tables, I'm going to go spend the money on another 3 ARS displays. And then, so it turns into $1,500 or $2,000 of expense rather than a one-time $100, which is right. Dumb. Maybe I just need to tell myself to just not do that and buy 1 table.
But if you know yourself and that's what it's going to cost, then that's not cost effective, because where we are, adding a corner from a single, it's not double the price. It's like 150% of a single table. Like, so if a single table is like 100, corner would be like 150. It depends on which show you're showing at. But so for me, it's worth it to not get overlooked. But if that means like other things have to happen in your brain for you to still feel like you're presenting yourself professionally, then you that, and it wouldn't be worth it for you.
Right. I think the reality is it probably is worth it at this stage in my presence, my business, my proof of concept to myself. It's probably time.
And it's, all the work that you've done into your own podcast and your own online social media presence, it leaves room for you to advertise that locally so you can get more people locally talking about you rather than, I know you're on a national stage, but what you're trying to sell locally, because you want to stay close to home where you don't have to pay those hotel fees, is maybe you need to expand your brand that you've already put all this work into locally and become more known locally. And that could help you to do that if you had the extra space to advertise that.
I think you're exactly right, and I think one thing I've missed on is being I should like my goal. I'm not saying in a cocky way. I'm not saying I'm there or I deserve it, but my goal to earn should be the number one breeder in my marketplace. And to be honest, Jacksonville's really wide open. There's a few breeders around, but there's not a really active community. The shows get lots of heads through the doors, and there's definitely Reptile people around for sure. So
just you have all this back work that you've already done,
Yeah.
like all this foundational like richness, that if people knew who you were, you really could become the go-to person of your, you know, within a 3-hour radius. And who doesn't want to be the person that everyone's saying, oh, you want a pet snake? Talk to Adam.
Right, yeah.
And you already have done the work to have that. You just have to let people know you're there.
Yeah. I'd be interested with how you all feel too, like in your own experience. Like I still struggle with like a little bit of like feeling like an imposter. Like I'm the new guy on the scene, but I've been at it 3 years now. So maybe I'm not that new. Like I need to just, I know I need
Own
to
your
take
space, Adam.
I need to like get over that mental part of it. But, and I think in my actions, I usually do, but in my mind, like sometimes I don't think in that proper wavelength.
I think the difference is if you were trying to come out and dominate the entire national market as the pet person to buy from, or you were trying to come out and say that you knew everything and all the breeders should buy for you. I don't know everything. I know everything. I don't think that'd be successful. But if you're coming to your own market, 3 to 5 hour radius, and you're saying, here I am, I'm an honest guy. Here is all my history that I've already done the last 3 years of work. Get to know me online, get to know me in person. Send your friends to me, come back to me. Here are these pet snakes that are being raised in my home. You know, here's why I'm different. And you have so much foundation that you've done for the national market and for the national like recognition amongst breeders and that kind of stuff. Like you've done all that work, but take that work and use it in your local market because it's a completely untapped potential. And once people start watching you online, or once people start relating all that information that you've given of yourself already, they're going to relate to you better and want you to be like, they're naturally going to make you that guy without you doing anything more than you're already doing.
All right, I'll give it a shot in Jacksonville. 2 tables. You heard it here first.
2 tables and advertise all your social media stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I will. And I've been on this like this deli cup kick lately too. Like I made a lot of money selling deli cups. So stupid, but
what?
I found these the ones that I've been using from the restaurant are dishwasher and microwavable safe. Not that we'd microwave anything, but I found that most people are using single-use deli cups and throwing them out. And I'm like, use these. Mine have lasted a year. That's the sales pitch right there. They've lasted a year and I still am using them and they're clean. And like, I was shipping them to Wisconsin and New Jersey and charging people the shipping cost. I was like,
the things you never think
I never
are going to be the thing end up being the thing that's fascinating to me.
It was kind of fun. I was like, I had a moment where I was like, all this work, and am I willing to be known as the deli cup guy after all this work I've put in? Like that's
hell yes, you are.
Turns out, yeah, I am. I'm hopefully there'll be like a comma and other things, you know,
right,
but
of course.
But yeah. So I'll have deli cups in Orlando. I got cases of them coming in.
That's awesome. I don't think you could ever be the single title guy. It's not really your personality or your vibe. You're more like
That's
the
true.
20 commas later and people are going, and do you sleep?
Right. Yeah. I have a little anxiety and twitchiness about me, but that's okay.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that you have your hat and a lot of rings.
Oh no, that I mean it that way. That's why
okay.
I have my hat. Because if I sit still, I get anxious and twitchy. So that's how
okay,
having
that's
all.
fair.
Yeah, that's how I don't. That's how I stay from getting twitchy and anxious. How's your internet, Jessica?
It's not my internet. I think it's camo. It's being weird.
I'm sorry. How's your experience? I should say then.
Awesome.
I'm trying not to get rowdy over here, Adam, and you're making it real hard.
I'm not picking on her. I'm truly like I see her, so I don't know if there's a delay because I see her. But if we talk, then I would know. I don't know.
He's saying you're being too quiet. It's like you're.
Well, I was trying to look in the back end of camo, see if I could like turn down some stuff, but whatever. Fucking reptile shows. I think they're fine, but I think there are people who aren't like you, Adam, who have like a national platform attempt and a local attempt and just do local only, and nobody knows who they are. So like for high-end sales, yes, they can go to a show and get a good show repertoire with their show stock, but they need national attention from someone to fuel that high-end market. And so they don't do any of the high-end stuff because they're so busy doing shows and making $50 profit on a show. So like, to me, I would rather someone prioritize some social media time of some kind to get their name out there first, because no one gives a shit if you're the only guy selling goinai in Topeka, Kansas. Like, nobody cares in Topeka, Kansas. Like, you might sell some, but it doesn't matter in like the cosmic scheme of things. So I would rather have someone not do shows, do a YouTube video channel or whatever, showing off their stuff. Because I think that, like, you might be like getting better show sales because you've driven like a national platform of exposure. So it's like working together.
Yes. I would say there's a very big and purposeful machine that I've worked on for a long time to make all of this spin.
That's what I'm trying to say. Take your machine and point it locally for a minute.
I will.
And it will do the rest. You know, like networking will do the rest, but you've already created this powerful machine and you're neglecting your own 3-hour area.
Yeah.
Right. But I think a new person should probably pick the national one first, in my opinion.
But he's done that.
Yes, but we're trying to like create sort of a narrative for a new breeder coming in. Oh. What should they do?
She's trying to say, don't listen to Jana because it's Adam's special.
No. This is your show. No,
I know she's just trying to say for our new listeners that
well, like we share a listener, Wes, and Wes was on your stuff saying like, I don't really want to.
Right.
And he listens to us too, so maybe we ruined his opinion. Like, do local shows, but. Like, I know the cheap stuff doesn't ship well in this market. First, like, people don't want to buy it on Morph Market and ship it. But like, if your goal is to be a breeder who sells to other breeders, you need to court other breeders, and you can do that at your local show, but not as well as you can online, in my opinion.
I completely agree. I think your return on investment and effort and time, and not investment in dollars, just effort and time, is probably maximized in my opinion, for me, has been maximized on Instagram. It doesn't take much effort to slap up daily pictures and reels. It takes dedication, because for a long time you're just like, am I just screaming into the abyss? Which you are. And then eventually somebody hears you, and then another person hears you, and then you get something good going.
I've definitely sold more snakes on Instagram this year than on Morph Market.
I agree, actually.
Darian.
I haven't sold any on Morph Market, but I've definitely sold a few on Instagram.
I sold very few this year, very few on Morph Market, and I'm having by far my best year ever. Very few on Morph Market.
Right, which maybe means like shows is better to get into this year than maybe 2 years ago, obviously, or last year. So there's obviously like a flux of the rubric where you can like lever up and down the like. If the market is suppressed, people really don't want to pay shipping. So they really want to go to a show and get a deal. Maybe that's how that's going to play. But I think a lot of people are like, about Anaheim. We can talk about Anaheim because it just happens. Mm-hmm. I heard Anaheim was great. I heard Anaheim was mid. And I heard Anaheim was like a fire sale. Everything was super cheap. And people were like, make any offer you got. You got an offer?
Get it off my table.
I heard all three, and I had spies. Okay, I had spies.
Yeah, people on the street.
Yeah, got people on the street,
and I appreciate the spies. And like pricing was low, but like there was still interest because prices were low.
Yeah.
And so that's fine, right? That's fine. But when we just tell people like it was a great show and we don't contextualize it with all of the like, I also did a 50% off sale the whole time. right. Okay, it was a great show because you made deals.
Well, top line revenue without context doesn't mean anything. Like the guys that buy end caps and 2 nights of hotel room, my gross wouldn't even cover their overhead probably. Whereas
and some people bring like $50,000 worth of inventory, and some people bring $5,000 worth of inventory.
Right.
So you can't ever make $50,000 if you only brought $5,000 worth of inventory. But to me, they're like, whenever I brought $15,000, I've never really made that much more, and
it doesn't change my outcomes at all.
Yeah, it's almost like the number of tables maybe has more to do with it, like the amount of real estate exposure to the animals. And I've never gone higher than 2, and Jana's done 3. And maybe that's why like Bob Vu does like a fucking mile-long stretch of just shit.
Yeah.
As far as the eye can see. And I don't mean shit as in bad, just like there's a lot. And you're like, I don't know where I am right now, but I'm in it.
He has radios to talk to helpers.
You have to.
I know, but that's
as soon as
crazy,
you get beyond
right?
that corner, it's
like,
you're in no man's land. Someone could be over there waiting for you to talk to him, and you never saw him.
If you got to be a trucker, you're like, breaker, come in. I got a hot lead down here, Bob. Like,
and I did watch like the Gecko Junkie interview. Did anybody watch that? On Gecko Pod. So he is like a full show circuit guy now. He almost doesn't do anything national. He had a YouTube channel for a while, and he does Arlington and ARBC, and he has his own like branded shirts and all this other stuff. But he's into like sort of absorbing you into the Gecko Junkie ecosystem when you walk into his like line of booths. You got like shirts and enclosures and geckos, and so you can sort of be like sucked in and like propelled out all in this like moment. And so maybe, but then like once you get that much infrastructure and that much tables, you're like on the show circuit path, right? You're going to the person who has so much invested, you have to keep doing it.
Well, and the space equation gets into that as well. Like I know you can't tell here, but this room is an absolute shambles. I had my central AC service today, so like it's a disaster other than this little column right here that you all can see. But I wouldn't be like the infrastructure I would need, like the ARS displays, the lights, the tablecloths, all of that. I got to figure out where that stuff's going to go. Like I am packed, and I don't want to sacrifice rack space for a display. That's counterproductive too. So I really like running a kind of a lean, efficient operation. I will go up to 2 tables, but I think I would have to move. Like I'd be in my next like home facility before I would go much bigger than that.
I think 2 tables is the best. That's manageable, especially if you go a lot by yourself, and even if you go as a team of 2. 2 tables is very manageable, but once you go beyond that, it becomes a lot less manageable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think the people who are like, shows are great, acting great. I don't know. Like, I wish they would always just qualify it with, I brought stuff that people wanted, not I'm the best at selling. Because a lot of times people are like, well, you're not on your feet and you're looking at your phone. I don't fucking look at my phone, and I'm always on my feet. So like the ability to sell, I know some people suck at selling, and I'm a mean old bitch. So that's probably like the resting bitch face is ruining it, right?
Oh my gosh,
but
so hard.
But like the excuses for why people aren't selling, I think have more to do with the quantity and disposition of the animals and like what the customer wants. And you don't know, you can't predict. But like the same fucking snake could sell out one show and not sell it at all in the next show, and you were just as happy and fun both times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just don't like conflating things that I don't think have anything to do with the sales with like you doing a good job or whatever as a vendor, because if people get all like worked up about it and they're like, well, you had a bad show because you just suck at selling. I'm not sure that's the case half the time. And maybe it is for me because I'm like I said, a bitch. But I've seen people with like great, well-priced, attractive, healthy-looking, well-fed, beautiful, reasonably priced ball pythons, and they sell none.
It's so interesting.
It's just the show. It's just the market, the people who walk in the door that day, or what aisle they hit first, or whatever.
I will say
that can be punishing to people like, am I a bad person, seller?
Yeah, I don't think it. And sorry, I thought that I had a little while back. I definitely wouldn't advocate for anybody to do shows in a vacuum. I think shows should be part of your efforts to sell. So Morph Market, Instagram, even local Facebook groups, and different snakes go in different of those sales funnels. Like my local group, that's really my wholesale outlet. And then before I actually go to the wholesaler. So like those snakes go in there and I check that out. But yeah, Jessica, to your point, I don't think shows only, and like I say, as a sole outlet is a that doesn't work for me. It might work for other people,
right.
but it would not be a good option. I wouldn't be comfortable with that, and I wouldn't advocate for that. As far as I think that I would probably say that I think there's a little bit more of a skill that can be attained, but I don't know what it is when it comes to shows. I haven't been able to your point earlier about a rubric or a process. I'm not at a point where I can define it yet. I'm trying all kinds of different things. Like sometimes I'm annoyed when people are hanging out at my table and they're just like, we're just buddies and loitering. And I'm like, you're blocking the table, get out of here. But then I wonder, does that crowd attract other people? They want to see, oh, Adam's got people hanging out. I need to check that out.
Yeah. And it's definitely hard because like, you don't have like a perfect sort of standardization to run like, your like line of speaking, like your opener, and you're attempting to butter them up, and then you want to close whatever way you do it. You're not always doing that in the same way to like compare equally. My problem is I get like surprised. I'm like, oh, you do want to buy it? I'm supposed to keep that inside. That's supposed to be silence.
You're like, I got an agenda to keep up that this is going to be a shitty show, and now you want to ruin it with a purchase.
I've had like great shows, like 2,400, and to me that was good because like the cost of the animals was not very high. So that means I sold 20 something corn snakes or whatever. That's fine. It's just like sometimes people like surprise you, like they look like they're poker facing, and they're like, I don't really want to buy anything, and then they're like, yeah, I'll just buy like 3. And you're like, what?
How did that happen?
And they're like, actually, I want the most expensive animal on your table just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but I'm always surprised. And I have the worst lying face. I'm like, oh, I knew it was coming, I swear.
Yeah, I worked in the medical field. Like, I can keep a straight face if I need to.
Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, you do have to keep your professionalism.
There's so much that you can legally be at fault for if you deliver information that's not within your professional purview. So like if someone's going to get a bad diagnosis that's pretty heavy, like you have to be able to go into the room, check them in, or you have to be able to call them on the phone and ask them to come in without going above your legal rights to communicate with that person. And so it's super important. People don't realize it, that like you've got to stand in there with a straight face and be calm so that you're not like projecting anxiety on that. Like it's very interesting what you learn.
Yeah, that's I mean, I know that's a challenging profession, much more than anything I've ever taken on. But yeah, that's another angle I hadn't thought of in that.
I think you probably have that experience, like managing people and restaurants. Like I don't know if you interacted with the customers, but a lot of that is needed, where you have to be super calm, even if they're screaming their faces off. So it's the same kind of like muscle, I think. Yeah, there is that. Yeah, and there's certainly the legal, like, I dealt with frontline associates and with the customers. So like there's legal, he treats me differently than that person treats me, than that manager. And so he's costing me money because of how it's like, okay, hang on a second. Yeah, there's all of that goes into it. Snakes are way more fun. That is way better. Way better. Hell yes.
Gross. Autumn Leaf said they had 3 kids at their show, not her kids, someone else's kids, trying to touch all of her rodents. Parents, grandparents, nowhere to be found. You can sell them. That's how that works.
Right.
You put the kids on your table, you sell them. If they're unattended, that means they're free. That's how that works, I'm pretty sure.
Today's show is brought to you by the word trafficking.
We're going to be banned from YouTube from now on.
Fine. Just don't use the SA word.
So you brought up, I think maybe another context that's interesting. I don't know what it means, and I don't know. This is I'm 8 shows in, but I do track a lot of things. So my average sale, now this is across all platforms, but the shows fit into it as well. My average sale per animal, as of right now, is $462 per animal. Now, I haven't hit up my wholesalers and done any wholesaling yet this year, so that'll come down. That's probably the highest it'll be this year. And the most expensive snake I've sold this year is $1,400, and that was not at a show.
Are your wholesalers full? Have you asked them yet?
No, I don't have any. I don't have any wholesale inventory yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will.
When you do ask, we'd love to hear it, just because we've been kind of trying to keep tabs on it on the DL. Just because we've been hearing across the board that wholesalers are full, even to long-term like relationships there, where you're normally like, you can just call and be like, yo, I got 15. They're like, okay, send them tomorrow. But they're like, I'm sorry, I can't take them.
I don't have that insight. Last year was that. I think I have to do the math. I think it was 25 snakes, and I got $25 a piece for them, wholesaling kind of deal. But yeah, that was
Is it locally or like a national one? I guess you don't have to reveal your secrets.
No, a regional pet store.
Those ones might be less full, right? A pet store might need inventory. We're talking about like the national wholesalers.
I don't know those guys. I'm with you all. I don't know who they are, and
nobody will let me in the back door with the secret handshake.
Well, it's Northwest Zoological.
I've offered blowjobs. No one takes me up.
I have not.
Cal Zoo, and there's like one more. Triple L. Triple L is supposedly still buying like single gene morphs, but then it's Triple L. So
okay. Yeah,
you decide if you want to put them into that.
Yeah, and you all keep tabs on way more of the individual purveyors, maybe not the people, but the companies. So I've dealt very little in that. Usually I'm the guy that'll like wholesale. I mean, obviously wholesaling is our last resort. Although I'm warming up to the idea. There's certain males that, like, even now that I have in my inventory,
yes,
I'm like,
as soon as they're born, you're like,
yeah, what am I doing, Adam? Like, what is going on?
Because the females, they're just making themselves more valuable. Males, they're not going to get any more valuable, so they're cutting from your bottom dollar basically every time you feed them. Yeah,
unless they're really powerful codoms.
Well, right, yeah.
Yeah, if they're the powerful codoms, they're good. But yeah, male recessive and hets, nothing. I gave
the normal het nothing.
Yeah,
even though they're het 47 things.
That's right. Yeah, I think he's in the audience. So I mean, total transparency. But yeah, I mean, there's a local customer who's great to me. I was just like, oh, he told me an animal he picked up. I was like, oh, dude, I've got a double het male to go with it. And he's like, how much? I'm like, it's yours, buddy. I am going to drive it to you.
It's yours.
I drove it to his house, and I was like, ta-da, today is your day. And and he was thankful, and it does work for him. It's a good fit for him, but it just wasn't what I need anymore.
All right. Yeah. So let's go back to Anaheim, since that just happened.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of mystery boxes and then flash sales on Instagram. This is mostly Altitude Exotics, but other people were doing it too at the show. What do you think about those two ideas? So you're at a show selling snakes on your table to Instagram, like flash sale, like this was on the table, it hasn't sold yet. Flash sale, 50% off or 20 or whatever, 20.
Mm-hmm. I think that.
That's smart as heck.
I like that.
And idea. So he's just like, whoever writes mine in the comment gets it, and I'll message you later for payment info. So he's like,
when there's slow downtimes at shows, I'm posting constantly. People are like, dude, you don't stop. Like you're doing the show, you're keeping up your work posting. I'm like, I'm just bored. I'm slow. But I end up selling snakes on Instagram while I'm at shows just because, and they look good. Like the lighting's good. The display is good.
And you're stuck there anyway.
Yeah. May as well work. Yeah, definitely.
Lisa says AE gave free shipping also with those. So it was like hyper incentivized to like FOMO at that moment, that one animal. So I just thought that was interesting of him. He did like 4 or 5.
I like that way better than this mystery box. Like there's something I'm missing on the mystery box. I want to hear y'all's opinion on it, but I like that idea of the flash sale on the at the show. That's great.
That's brilliant, and it creates like fervor to act. I am all on board for that. But the mystery boxes.
He sold out of his mystery boxes though.
Some people love it, and I know that there's the mystery grab bag.
Dynasty does it,
and I know a lot of people love. Usually they'll get like their first or second animal that way, and it's very enjoyable for them, like the pet people. And so maybe I'm missing out on that market. But for me, I'm just like,
don't you want to know the animal you buy?
I don't get it. Like, that's
I
not
know,
for me.
Right. It's not for me. And I tried to do a little show prep last night. So like I Googled like reptile mystery box, and like a girl on YouTube with a neck tattoo and purple hair. She was like, I got my box today. Let's open it up, you know?
Right. But we need more of those people to absorb our inventory. So like maybe we should be doing it because that's what they like.
And for the record, I love those people. Like watch it, show like people watching, and the mix of people. Like I could say it on your show. You could find gun-toting racists hanging out with black lesbians at the same table at a snake show, and it's my favorite. It's the best like slice of life ever. So, but yeah, this was the girl at the Spectrum with purple hair and neck tattoo, and she was just like, it's mystery box day. Like she was so excited. So like I think we should listen to the customers. That's good.
Yeah, I'm talking for like, I don't know, like, you know, a banana grab bag. It's got like a dark banana, a bright banana, and like a cheap, like a banana pie. So like one of them is a little more valued, and you're like, the bag is at least valued at whatever, 200 or something, but they can buy the bag
say
for
is at the next auction there's going to be a Jessica grab bag.
Maybe. I don't know if the auction's the right format for that, because like the auction is mostly catered towards people who are already in the industry. Do they want a grab bag?
Yeah.
We'd have to change our shitty podcast because it's clearly targeted at other breeders.
I need you both to go get neck tattoos. I'll send you some purple hair dye, and we're gonna fix this right up. We're close, huh?
For now, thanks.
All right, she's doing it.
I keep all mine hidden, but I do. I swear it. It's there. There's plenty of it. You'd probably be surprised how much ink there is.
Look, Jamie bought 2 mystery bags, and they got a banana and a bell, and they loved it.
That's the thing. I can't. I guess what I don't understand. I can get my head around. People enjoy things different than I do, and that's cool. I made a ton of money in my life selling white Zinfandel that I have zero desire to ever drink again. No problem. What I can't get my head around is the finances for the seller. Like, what is it? Like, doesn't there have to be a bait and switch for it to work on the financial end from a seller standpoint?
If they're a pet people and they're going to love whatever pet they get, for some people, the excitement of the unknown is more valuable than picking out and know what you have coming. Like it's just a different type of personality type and like what they're looking for. So they want that rush when they buy it, as well as having a loved animal in their home. And
so it's the right target.
It's the right there's a market for that apparently.
So you're saying you think people are always taking the L on the price, the sale price, when they make the box? Sometimes they are, but.
Well, they're either doing that or they're selling a hope that they know they're not going to deliver. They might deliver it to one person so they can be like, if they say, hey, we're going to do 10 mystery boxes and one of these is going to have a $2,000 animal in it, but they are, or however much, and they raise 5x of that amount to sell the 10 boxes. Well, then there's 9 people disappointed. Like,
yeah, you don't, but you don't have to do it that way.
Don't do it that way. That's gross.
You could just make it like all the same retail price, or maybe like very close, you know, like within 50.
Or like Jessica said, this mystery bag has a retail value of this price.
Yeah.
And I'm selling it to you for 200, but it's really 250, and you're getting any of these pet quality animals, but like making it fun. You get a $50 discount,
but definitely not like a grind. That's you're still in the like breeder gear set with that mentality.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's nice what Altitude did. So we love Altitude here. He put an Xanthic crested gecko in $1,000 box, and I don't know what they are retail now. Lisa, do you know? 3,000. And in the other boxes were other animals that were about $1,000, but one of them was actually like more expensive.
Yeah, the lottery model.
Than the box. So it was like. And he had $10,000 really boxes. Smart. So yeah, if you're not like hurting them and giving them a value instead of like wholesaling it or whatever, making a deal, you're like incentivizing the box sale.
Or the other ones actually selling help make up the loss that you're taking on the more expensive animal.
Right. But that's my point of, you're under delivering to the majority of the people. Otherwise the numbers don't work in that model.
Yes, I guess that's correct. But
yeah,
crescent gecko people are weird because they like mystery boxes. They like free geckos. They'll just like slap geckos in every box. Like, you want an extra gecko in there because they don't cost very much to produce. They're easy to get a bunch of them. What's Marshall saying?
Marshall is saying you can sell animals for less than value and not advertise it, and then you're not market crashing. I think that's actually a valuable thing, especially right now where we're trying to really preserve the more important projects, or the double recessive projects. So like, I know a lot of people who will sell the males that are the double hets as just the visual genes and not the hets to try to protect that market. And I think when we can protect in an ethical way our market, that we should, and this doesn't seem like an unethical way to do that. So that's a good point.
Yeah, that is a good point. And maybe even that same customer, but another customer was asking me, they're like, hey, Adam, you seem like you have a lot of animals that aren't posted on Morph Market. And because of them, like, I don't want to do battle with those market prices. I would rather build and know a customer and their needs and say, here's the animal. You can hold it in your hands. You can see it in person. And that's been really valuable for the shows. Like, I'm not necessarily beholden to only Morph Market in doing the shows. I know that's circling back and getting off track here, but to Marshall's point, that would be a good way. And I think it'd be a good alternative if I could get my head around it. It'd be a good alternative to wholesaling, like mystery. That'd be fun. Like, if
super fun.
If you've already marked them for wholesale and you can provide fun and some value to somebody at that price or a little bit better, maybe in between, not quite wholesale, but certainly not retail, that would fit. I think
that's a win for everybody.
Yeah. That lottery model bothers me a little bit. I like repeat customers. I don't want disappointed customers. And I'm not saying they'd be disappointed, but I want them like stoked. I don't want 9 out of the 10 being like, damn, I didn't get it. Like, that's not enough of a return for me. I think I could be wrong. Maybe I'll evolve.
But like you're saying, like
houseplant mystery boxes are pretty common. And then it helps with decision fatigue for pet keepers because they're getting like the wall of info and they don't know what to buy, and they're just like, man, that's would decide for me because there's hundreds of ball pythons here. Maybe I'll just go buy the $50 mystery box that has like, a wholesale male ball python in there of some kind, and that's the mystery box chose for me, and I don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were you saying, Jana?
I don't remember. Oh, I was saying that like where I'm more comfortable with that one of the animals is a $2,000 animal, but all the other animals are $1,000 animals, is they know they're getting a value animal. So even if they don't get the super big win, they're still winning because they're still getting $1,000 animal at a better price than $1,000. And so as long as they're still winning and they didn't win that big one, they weren't taken or had or left with nothing. They're still getting a quality breeder quality animal that they can either pass on to someone else or they can use in their own projects. And so I think that for me is where it starts to make ethical sense, is if they're happy with what they got, but if they had gotten the bigger one, they would be ecstatic. And so you want them happy. And like I said, I'm the same way as you. I want my customers to always be ecstatic. But in the market that we're in, creativity is needed. And I think that is a creative way, as long as you are making sure that your customers are still happy with what they're getting and not pissed.
Right. I don't want pissed off people.
Yeah. I don't think like high end, snake or ball python mystery boxes make sense for ball pythons, like $1,000, because who wants that specific thing?
Right.
It's too specific. It has to be pet quality or like wholesale quality turned into like a pet mystery box, or like the nice pet quality, like bells and good banana combos that are visually interesting.
Right.
I agree.
Only because nobody's going to want
a normal
like if I opened a mystery $1,000 mystery box and got like an albino pied, I would die. I would just vomit. Ugh. Send it back.
You put that tape right back out. She's like, I'm not even paying for testing this garbage.
Send it back. So that might be $1,000, but it doesn't work with my projects or my animals or my whatever aesthetics. So like, I don't like crested geckos they're definitely different projects, but they're largely like, let's just bang whichever 2 crested geckos we got right now, and let's try to like work out a phenotype.
But you could be more specific. I think also, and I know that you don't think that I'm accurate on this, but I don't care. The auction atmosphere and doing like a mystery box, like if you had 5 males in, let's say, the Clown Pied project, and 4 of them were $500 double het males, so like multi-gene het males, and one was like the visual, 1 or 2 gene visual, and you're like, in the box is 1 visual Clown Pied male, and the rest are all very nice, usable double hets, but the one person could get that. So you could be really specific, I think. And so people wouldn't be buying outside their own projects.
Yeah, I don't think that could go on an auction though. You'd probably just do like on Instagram, be like, come to my website, like here's the lots, and you can buy a lot.
I know you don't think that, but if you set it up and it was a mystery box auction, and you're saying this is my lot of 5 and it's in this project, and another breeder's here and this is their lot of whatever for this project, I think then you would generate the interest and the urgency and the excitement. Whereas if you just toss it up on your website, it's just sitting there, and
it's such a specific project though. Like we already struggle now with like people don't want quite exactly what's on the auction because it doesn't fit, and so like it goes for like a wholesale like price, which is fine. But I think a show would be better because you have like 6,000 people walk through and they're like, oh, this is the Clown Pied mystery box. Nice. I will take 1 Clown Pied mystery box, $500. So its retail value is minimum $750. It's $500, but one of them has a visual Clown Pied in it or whatever. I don't know. You could try it. I don't have 5 of the same things that I think are the same value to even start to try it.
Hopefully one day soon I will have
it.
Yeah, I'll try it.
And then I will try it, Jessica, and I will report back to all of you.
If you tell me there's a Clown Pied in the box, I'm probably pretty interested. I don't care about the other 3 at that point, or the other 2. Maybe. I don't know. It depends what the price is, but yeah. I'm sorry, I should apologize. I probably come with a deep-seated bias in the first place. Like in my
on gambling in general.
Well, yeah,
you can't be a ball python breeder and not be a little tiny bit of a gambler on the inside.
Oh, I'm a huge like I had a real problem with poker in college. Like poker I nearly quit school for poker, which is not anything reasonable to even think for a second to do. But no, in my career and in what I advise people, I don't like sales. I don't like gimmicks. I think, and this is not what I'm saying these people are doing in this industry. I'm saying this is where my bias might be. I always want people to say, this is our product. It's worth what we charge. Because if you start downgrading that, people will never pay retail. They're only going to come back when you run the next special. It's like the Groupon effect. Like I don't want businesses to use Groupon because I'm probably never going to go back and pay retail after you give it to me for free the first time.
Yeah, but how long are you going to wait while retail price changes and you're holding the bag, feeding it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you always have to test
it in your own rack or by your own sales.
Yeah, it's a totally different model. So like food and beverage is not snakes. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think I have this bias, like immediate knee-jerk reaction to things.
Yeah.
When I'm like, so this is a good exercise for me to sit and listen and to hear. Like that's what's great about doing these shows. I is like not being a guest, like having a show, is that you do get to hear so many perspectives. It does put you out in the marketplace, and Lord knows the internet is unfiltered feedback. Like we get some honest opinions, right?
We sure do.
Yeah.
I just want to go back and hit on your Groupon bias a little bit your personality type is that you like to squeak when it comes to money. And so your mentality of you've given it to me for Groupon price, I will never pay you retail price. But for me, I had a Groupon. A bunch of my girlfriends and I got a Groupon to go get like a mani-pedi, and like 6 or 7 of us went. And even though we had a Groupon, they treated us like we were their highest paying customers. We were like very well looked after. They didn't care that we had a Groupon, and that is our go-to place. And we've never even looked up a Groupon. We just go and pay full price because they've earned it. And so I think that some people don't have that mentality.
Yeah, it's through the lenses of a restaurant. So when like a mani-pedi place really doesn't have a cost of goods or an inventory expense, right. So their margins can handle and essentially becomes an advertising expense. Whereas in a restaurant, you're losing money. So the mani-pedi is making less money. A restaurant is suddenly in the red with
zero. Yeah.
Yeah. So that again, it's just my lenses, and then it's imperfect. I'm not saying my opinion is the truth. It's
right. Nobody's opinion is perfect.
It's my deep-seated bias and trouble. And I will say, to clarify for the record, when I do things and when I do spend money, I have a good time, but it's like, I got to make that decision that's what I'm going to do. And so instead of losing it on cocoa, I'd rather buy great wine and hang out with friends and have a big bash that way.
Mm-hmm. So like, here's a question. You're holding on to animals because you don't think you can get their price in the market currently. At what time will you decide if you're doing like the sunk cost fallacy and you were holding on them for a price that doesn't exist and you actually should have sold them for the price that they were whenever? Or will you be sort of justified? Like, what time scale have you like put in your head? Like, okay, if the price isn't back by December, and now they're too big for V18s, now I'll sell them or at whatever price they are. How do you parse that part out? That's something I think about every day.
Great.
Every day.
This is a great example of we need more context. So if I know there's almost 0% chance that I'll ever breed that animal, it's pretty quick to the wholesale bin if the market isn't right or I have to put a lot of work into it. Most of what I'm talking about is stuff that I could use. I don't want 45 female holdbacks, but if I have to hold them, I will. That's okay. I'm in a weird place right now where it's like almost like an annual purge. Like, I'm done with most of my breeders from last season, and I've had a good enough year of investments that I don't need those animals anymore. So like right now I'm really male heavy. So breeders that I don't need anymore, and I'm in a position of some that I held back. I haven't posted them on Morph Market, but actually the price is fine on them, and they're not big dollar animals. So like a Fire Axanthic Visual, I held him back. Well, I've since purchased a visual Axanthic Het Pied and Axanthic Het Clown. I don't need that. I don't need that other one anymore. He's a perfectly good snake, and he's going to be a good breeder for somebody. That's not the double het that I just want to give away. So I'm in that position. Also, as far as like not posting it, doesn't necessarily mean I'm not trying to sell it. I'll still post it, like pictures of it on Instagram. I'll still bring them to shows. Even as much as people can dial up prices on Morph Market, there's pet owners too that are so happy that to see like a killer looking, like you said, a banana. Bananas are so visually powerful to pet owners and show goers. I can probably get what I want for it in that atmosphere where I wouldn't be able to on Morph Market.
Mm-hmm. I'm delayed again, so fuck me, right? Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
You just did the dance where
I
think
like
it catches you up. Yeah. You're like, go gadget, internet. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I think I will try. I'll think about trying a mystery box probably at a show, like maybe like one blind box, like in a rack, like you've blacked off the little space and you're like, this is a $50 bin, but male ball python eating frozen thawed, retail value $100, $50 or whatever. I might try it. Not this next show, but it seems fun. I don't know. I'm into trying like novel sales pathways right now because they suck ass.
I think when I have hatchlings, because there's going to be the misses, there's going to be the normals that come out, and maybe not with normals, I wouldn't do it, but like I wouldn't want somebody to open the box and be like, well, I told you got that nice banana, but there's 2 normals for it. Like that's not going to make anybody happy either, you know? So like not normals, but you know what I mean? Like lower, I got to figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if it's, I felt like a trend at Anaheim. So I was like, damn, what am I missing out on? And nobody asked to do it, but yeah. All right. Let's go into Morph Pay. Do you know about Morph Pay?
Not one bit. You got to school me on. Now, I did see Darian ask about Square fees and charges today. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ignore the fact that my feed is delayed.
Yeah, I can. Your audio is good, though.
Your audio.
I know.
And then you do that dance.
What if I like delete myself? Look, I'm
Don't
back.
do this. Just you're fine. Just
All
keep
right.
talking.
So Morph Pay is where Morph Market is trying to integrate Square into their website, and you will have to have your own Square account, and they can like click a button in Morph Market to be sent to Square to pay you to your Square account that you already have, and you just integrate the two things. They are charging 0.05 basis points, so 0.5%.
Half of 1%.
Right?
Yeah, half of 1%.
Half of 1% to do that. But there's no other benefits, really. Like there's no like chargeback protection or insurance, or they're not escrowing the money. It's just if you have a Square, you can put a button on Morph Market.
I think so. Does it? Let me ask you that. Does it?
Jana's like, fuck you. All right, go ahead, Adam.
I'm sorry. Oh, did I jump in?
No,
I'm just
waiting
funny.
for my
Jana's
turn,
like,
and she's
fuck.
seeing me spaz. Go ahead and speak, and then I will speak.
And this is on top of the Square charge, which is a 2.9 plus a flat 30 cents per transaction. Is that right? Somebody chime in. Blazing Blue Tongues, is that right?
It's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 3.4%. Yeah. So every other industry in the world shoulders their 3% just fine. So that the percentage doesn't bother me that much. I guess my question would be, does it lower the hurdle? I call it friction in business. Does it lower the friction that it takes for somebody to buy? And it sounds like it does. It sounds like there's a click. They don't have to ask me what kind of payment we like. We debate who's got Cash App and who's got Venmo and who's got Zelle. It's right there. It's in-house. It's does it feel better for the customer too? Like, doesn't it feel more official if you're sending it through the site rather than like...
Right, but they still have to get off the site, go to Square, pay, come back, they just get a button.
Oh, if they don't have it set up already.
Right. Like...
Yeah, okay.
I think yes, but I think I'm always concerned about like reducing the friction in animal sales causes animals to die. Frankly, let's just
fair enough.
That's like
fair.
You haven't quality checked that buyer. They don't speak English very well because they're a Zoomer, and you're not sure what they learned on TikTok about snakes yet. Like, so like yes, it's a good idea to like make people buy stuff, but we're selling something that requires some
vetting,
some touch, just a couple touches of whatever their brain is doing.
I know that Jessica's had some issues with her website of people just getting on there and buy, and then they were like, "Ooh, I was awake, at 1 a.m. and shouldn't have been spending."
Yeah, money. I've had it. So I stopped listing
want
animals on my website
for
because
me, that
people
barrier
buy
of
too quick, and they don't mean it.
Right, that barrier of protection where someone can't just impulse buy from you without any types of communication. Yeah, there are some people who like that because we're all, I mean, let's face it, in this industry, most of us are antisocial, and and so for a lot of people it's very appealing, but for me it feels very out of control, and that isn't how our industry should be, especially with animal sales. I feel like that's not something I would like to use because I want someone to message me. I want a point of contact, and then the effort that it took to message me is more than likely they're not going to back out of that sale. But if they are, then I'm not having to refund. It's not a whole process. Like, I don't want to play with that at all. But there's someone that commented Cara, I'm not sure how that is, but it says that she often wants to buy, but doesn't want to bother people via messenger. Okay, I see the point. But then Carissa is here. She's saying biggest concern is pitching it to the customers. And those of us who are like, I don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Are we going to lose business because we're
probably
not participating in that function?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it will become like surfing Amazon, and when you search for something, you immediately check the Prime only box, and all those other vendors are poof right out of the screen. And I think that will be a search option on Morph Market. Only show me results with Square Pay.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I think it's the way that it'll be.
Especially since most people like Zelle or whatever now, because it's like the safest, because it's like bank account to bank account, like for the seller, maybe not for the buyer or whatever, but you know it's a person if they have a bank account.
Yeah.
With Zelle, I don't know. Yeah, he got kind of testy at some point, and then he deleted that post.
Did he? I don't.
Yeah, he's like, why do you guys complain about something you don't have to do that will make your life better? And then they're like, well, and then you could make it more better instead of less better, you know.
I just don't think he understands how dynamic this industry is. I don't want to hate on him. I know he comes from a very business oriented with the studio.com stuff, and I don't know him personally, so I'm not trying to throw shade or anything. I'm just saying that it's such a deeply faceted industry, and it's got so many nuances that you can't be taught per se, that you just have to learn or be mentored in. And he needs a mentor to explain the ins and outs of this business, because he comes in here with these great ideas that work for bugs, but the nuances aren't the same. The effect it has on how the customers are viewing the businesses. You have to take all of these different facets into consideration before you make a move like that. And I don't think he has a full comprehension of that. And so I think that's where there's been a lot of friction with Darian, is that John understood that.
Yeah, I think Darian, and I don't know him, and I haven't followed him nearly as much as you all have, and I've tried to not follow him on Facebook, but I sort of look away and move on. I think in most industries, that instant pay is so normal and so normalized. Here's what I really think. Here's my conspiracy mindset coming out. I don't know how much business is conducted on Morph Market, but for every $1 million in gross sales that he has nothing to do with and has no effort to make, he gets $5,000. And that, with it already being normalized, I think like right now he's doing the work to like, for all of us to get our heads around it, all of us to be, ready for it, because that's a payday. That 0.5% trickling through with a one-time setup and then completely passive income otherwise, gold mine.
It's a gold mine, and it's a brilliant move on his part from a business standpoint. I'm just saying that he doesn't understand our industry.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see the I'm more bearish on Morph Market than I've ever been right now. I'm glad to see there's other competition. I'm glad to see there's other avenues. I'm glad to see, for my own personal selfishness, that Instagram and shows and local markets are working for me. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get into politics, but this feels like some of the strategy that has been employed by in the recent past. It's a little bit crazy. It's just very chaotic.
Well, and the other thing is, I don't know if anybody's noticed, I've been watching the number of ball pythons sold per day for a couple of weeks now, just being psycho as usual. And it's only like 20, 10, 15. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? In a category with 37,000 ball pythons in the USA and Canada combined are just marked as sold. That means also at a show. And I'm like, are people deleting their ads when they sell them instead of marking them sold like they're supposed to? Or is Morph Market like,
what criteria are you looking at to gain information? So, I know, but like, how do you see that information? Are you just
go to availability and sold and then sort by day sold? So like,
Okay.
I'm looking at every single thing sold. The number has been like really low, and I wasn't paranoid until that. I was like,
something's not transparent there.
Yeah, either people are deleting it, or there are way more than that sold in the whole earth. So why aren't like a couple?
I sell more than that
a day
at a reptile show.
Well, I was gonna say, even like me, Morph Market's dead to me guy. I sold one yesterday, and I sold $150 animal yesterday to New York, which is crazy on Morph Market. That's the last thing I would expect to sell on Morph Market.
But you didn't delete it. Did you put it on hold?
No, I marked it sold. It's gone.
Oh, you marked it sold?
Yeah, because I want
what's going on?
Because I want the reviews. I want the ratings.
Darian, what did you do?
Well, I don't like when people delete it because I look at Morph Market not necessarily as a selling platform, but its most useful attribute to me is the history of the industry.
Yeah.
The snapshot history of the industry that isn't available to the rest of us because we are selling a lot on Instagram. We are selling at tables at reptile shows, but having a place where there is some sort of snapshot, even if it's biased, is important for us to be able to go in and reference, how many of these animals have been sold of this combination and what were their prices? What's the market doing right now? I can calculate what I want to price it as. And for me, I use that heavily. That's mostly what I use Morph Market for. And I know like we're doing Jessica Stonk's episodes, and that's where she's getting her information to help us understand the market a little better. And if people are deleting what's being sold, we're hurting ourselves because right now that is the only avenue we have for that, where we are all in one place doing some of our sales. And if we don't have that snapshot anymore and that information, it is going to become extremely cumbersome for us to have a platform where we could all do our own pricing and availability type research.
Well, I just really quick, so like 713 is like down to here, so only maybe 8 have sold today, and then 712 is like 20. That's not that many.
No, it's not enough.
There's way more than that sold that just happened to be on Morph Market and also sold the show on the same weekend, and they just flipped it. So I don't understand what's happening.
Is mine on there from yesterday? Let me make sure that I've actually marked it sold and that I'm not lying. But it was a GHI Mojave Pastel.
Hold on. Next page. You marked it sold yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah. Last update. I'm looking at it right now.
I see it.
Okay, so it is there. So everybody's deleting theirs?
It must be.
Or none are selling that were on Morph Market. Like we're not selling them.
Because even if I have something on Morph Market and I don't sell it on Morph Market, I mark it sold elsewhere.
Yeah, me too.
Because I like having the reptile industry Google history of sales, like I think it's such a valuable
new
tool.
question. Do these not include sold elsewhere? I thought they did.
I don't know.
And so maybe that's why they're all like disappearing, because you can only search by actually sold to Morph Market.
Yes, I still want my reviews and my ratings. Like I'm still like, that's the reward for me to participate properly.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird. Like
it is weird.
I feel like 20 a day is insanely low, and I was like, okay, is he throttling traffic somehow? I don't know. I made up all kinds of conspiracies, and I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. People must be deleting, or it's just not showing me all the solds.
If people think they're protecting their own markets by deleting, then I absolutely could see where people would be doing that. But actually, I think in the long run you're harming our snapshot of the industry, and that it's a very valuable tool that has always existed on Morph Market. And if we all move away from that, then that's a sad day for me and a loss of resources.
Yeah. And as much as I say I'm happy about competition and I'm bearish on Morph Market is still the king. I could be bearish on Walmart all I want. It's going to be there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right? It's there. Even if I'm not selling ever on Morph Market, I still want it there as a resource.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I want my, even like a real thorough buyer at a show, I can go, hey, this is me. I'm regional. I'm in the area, but also look at my reviews and ratings on Morph Market. Like that's still the gold standard of ratings and reviews. So I feel like it seems short-sighted just to delete sales because because you're afraid that the market might change and you can't price it, or you think that previous pricing will be held against you. The market's the market. Gallon of gas, like we've all laughed at our parents when they told us what they paid for bread when they were kids. Shit changes. Like
shit changes.
Don't
Amen.
Yeah, the price of stamps, it's changed. I know, Dad. I don't know. Throw $1 at it and call it a day. Like it's done. I don't know.
Blackjack says he's looked at a ton of sold animals and the actual listings are 404. So they're being not deleted by the person, but maybe by Morph Market. Whoa.
That's weird.
Yeah. And Marshall says, I don't market sold till it ships, which I agree. But I was just looking for sold. I just wanted to see each day, like what somebody had come back in and updated. And there's always more on like Monday. So I assume that was because they sold at shows. Or because people were drunk on Saturday buying and they were getting ready to ship. And so they marked it sold on Monday or something. I don't know.
That's 2 accounts of 404 errors. So that's got to be on the Morph Market side. Something has changed in the algorithm. And we want to know what it is and why.
Yeah. Huh.
It's just... I don't know. It's just getting hinky, and it's fine. I just wanted to see like what sentiment was, what people were wanting to buy, and I was like, there's just not enough. But people are buying like intro level breeder animals, lesser het clown, Spectre asphalt, $400, a spot nose clown, like just like nice little. They're not buying a lot of expensive stuff because that's selling somewhere else. But the entry-level breeders are selling, but just not very many. And then I got confused by why there weren't enough. And maybe it really is 20. But if it is indeed 20 every day out of 37,000, Morph Market's never going to catch up to the numbers.
But it's also not worth Darian's effort for this. Doesn't make sense.
I think maybe it's just like an accident, like in the back end.
That's why I said algorithm. I didn't say Darian because I'm assuming it was not. I like to assume that people don't do things maliciously or backhandedly from the go, like innocent till proven guilty, I guess. And so I was just assuming that it was a change in an algorithm somewhere that's causing the discrepancy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what's funny is like we all, like you said at Anaheim, you heard it was amazing. You heard it was okay. You heard it was terrible. Like I always hear on Morph Market, well, the low end stuff isn't selling on Morph Market. It's only the high. You're only gonna move the really high end stuff to other breeders on Morph Market. So you just hear all this weird crap all over the place, and the sold items don't match up. And like I say, the one thing I did sell recently was $140. The shipping was. I did a flat shipping rate on it, but anyway, you get the point. Like it's
yeah. Weird. I mean, if you look at the price points of what is selling right now, 3,000, 200, 600, 400, 250, 450, 125, 225, 500, 200. This is show fodder type price point, but it's selling on Morph Market. It's just not selling on Morph Market like in volume, but it appears nothing is selling on Morph Market in volume based on this data.
Wise Marshall says he thinks something's going on because those numbers do not seem right to him.
I can time to look at yourself, Marshall. I went back. I've been going on it for weeks because I was trying to like maybe I could do like a time on market episode because like if they're selling now for 200 but they've sat for a year, is there like a time on market graph I can produce from that or whatever? But then I'm like, we're just not selling enough, period. What's going on? It's just like for weeks now, it's just like 20 snakes. And I'm like, this is wrong.
I bet Will's onto something right there. Like that would absolve our conspiracy theories of Darian and explain high volume sellers eliminating their sales. That's interesting.
If you're trying to dodge the man, and you're doing an electronic amount of money, I'm sorry, there is a trail, and you deleting that is just hurting our industry. It's not saving you from the man and your tax.
Yeah. Well, let me play devil's advocate because if that's that square payment, MorphPay would undermine hiding from the man too. Maybe Darian's
Just
the
pay
good
your
guy.
taxes.
Maybe Darian's the good guy then. Maybe Morph Pay is going to solve that.
The other question is like, if Morph Pay should, because it's Square, integrate sales tax collection, but it doesn't know the situs of the person if they have multiple locations. So how would it know automatically when paying to like charge the correct amount? Just saying. That's why you would need to have a person touch the price points first before they can pay. Because you might vend in St. Louis and New York, BC, and Illinois. So if you ship to Illinois, technically you have situs. So you would need to charge sales tax. Whatever. Not a CPA. Don't. I just think it's more complicated than that. You need someone to touch the invoice one time for certain situation. Oh, who is known to dropship animals? A lot of people.
What is dropship? Like, what do you mean dropship?
It means it's somebody clicks the button, they package the animal, and they ship it out to you, and there's never a single point of contact.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It means you sell it, like Joe Exotics, wink, sells it, but it's actually shipped from a different state by a different person, but you're the one taking the money and coordinating it.
Got it.
So there's a lot of people who do that actually, and it's usually people who like used to live in Florida and had retics. They sent their retics to their buddy. They still own them. They're still theirs, but their buddy is like managing the collection now. But they still want it under their name because they're like a bigger breeder. I know some people would do that.
Yep.
So that was
also a lot of big name breeders I know have connections with smaller name breeders that aren't as social media active, and so they sell under that name umbrella.
Yeah. Absolutely. Interesting. I didn't know
that's banned now.
Yeah, I saw that was banned, but I didn't know what that was. But so like, and I don't know these people, so I'm not trying to. Let's pick a fake name just in case. That could be fantastic or they could be awful. I truly have no idea. But they were very big, and I heard that they were selling everything. This was probably 6 months ago. To move, I think to Thailand, but to Asia somewhere, and maybe that's where they were from. I don't know at all. I don't know if they were moving their business there. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, I see their brand pop up, and they're selling. They've got $8,000-$10,000 animals listed again under the same brand. So I wonder if that's what's happening. Is right.
Hi, Molly.
I don't know. I think the hard part is like people were getting the wrong animals sent to them by a really big person who is a known, very frequent drop shipper. And so it's just like a constant problem of like, I bought a boa and it's like a wrong boa again, like the third time off the same ad or whatever. It's supposed to be a representative photo, but it's not. That wasn't labeled that way. And
I don't like representative photos.
Else.
I won't buy from somebody if it says this is representative. That to me is nope.
The central distribution model doesn't really bother me. That's pretty efficient, but I that's the problem. I never know what Darian's like angle is or what he's working towards. And I guess I just don't trust it sometimes. So, and it's hard to know where the sweet spot of regulation and free market is, right? I mean, that's in everyday life. This is just a magnification of it in our industry here. Super
Snake Syndicate asks, isn't that what Hardwire's doing? Doesn't he have a sister facility in Florida? So he gets the animals from the other locations. So like Canova's relationship with Rice or whatever, and maybe he sells some of the inventory that they produce. I'm just guessing. I think that Darian means like they're sold from the physical location, not where the seller's located. So the seller doesn't have possession. So if you send it to the person and then they sell it, that's okay.
Yeah.
And the shipping from somewhere else when it's not even in your possession, not okay, technically now.
Yeah, all of them are in Tony's possession, and he's been pretty open with it, so I don't think I'm messing up anything. His partnerships with Chris Davenport in Florida, who wants to focus on something else, another business. And Tony's got a big platform, so it makes more sense for Tony to sell the snakes. But
who wouldn't want that relationship with Tony?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, I mean,
or with Justin, like anybody is lucky to have that sort of relationship. And if you have high esteem for the umbrella business, that they're going to have high esteem with whoever they're bringing in under that umbrella. It's not going to be just anybody off the block.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, so I mean, and those are really well, like they're not shady or in the shadow. They're not working in the shadows or I mean, they've been transparent about it. And Tony's been on my show, but I don't keep up with Tony, and I've never spoken with the partner. So, so for me to be aware of it means they're pretty open about the whole thing.
And I think that's what is the difference between ethical and unethical, is that if you're transparent about what you're doing, I don't see that there's any problem with it.
Yeah, Blackjack brings up over-policing becomes a slippery slope, and it feels like we're verging on that. I think someone could have drop shipped successfully, and it could have been fine if they just sent the right animal and it was healthy and it was represented correctly, right? It almost doesn't matter if it was drop shipped
at all.
But I think the problem was some of them weren't, and so that soured his disposition about it. If that makes any sense.
And then all roads come back to Slither. Yeah. Okay.
For some reason, somebody's calling me.
Oh, do you guys do like a mid-show sponsors, or one shot they're done?
It's time for Jana's movie time.
Movie time.
And then we'll do like one or two more things.
May I have a little water and boys' room break?
Yes,
all right, I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So this week up on Movie Madness, 2 movies. I think I have seen them, but I have no recollection of seeing them. Was Phantom of the Opera and Chicago, and it was literally one vote that won it. So I did have time to watch Phantom of the Opera, but I am gonna go ahead and watch Chicago as well. But I watched it, and I was just very confused. I need Jessica to hold my hand. I assume you've seen it.
Not for a long time. These aren't really my
your genre.
My genre of.
It was an anime,
so
she's like, I'm gonna say nothing.
I don't like just anime.
So musicals are not normally my thing. I don't mind going and seeing a play, but watching a movie that's a musical, that's not usually my genre either. That's why I felt like it was a fun experience. But I feel like when you watch a musical and there's deep-rooted dynamics happening, that for me the enjoyment would be the afterwards to go and like deep dive on the internet, subreddit or something, and understand how other people felt about the roles of the characters. Most people have seen it. It's a really old movie, so fuck all of you, and spoiler alerts. But she doesn't end up picking the Phantom of the Opera, which was a little shocking to me. I felt like I'm going to be triggery, sorry everyone, and talk about grooming, but I felt like he had this little girl that he had been mentoring or whatever since she was little, and so I really thought that programming was going to make her pick him. And so it was very interesting, especially I feel like when those types of plays were written, normally the like unhealthy dynamic is the one that wins, and she didn't. She picked the other guy, her childhood friend, and was free in the end. And so I feel like normally it goes the other way, and it didn't. That was pretty cool. I would love to deeper dive into the analytics of the character arcs and the storyline. For me, that's where I would get the enjoyment. It wasn't really in watching it.
I like people shooting stuff. Throwing stuff up, running away. I rewatched Independence Day for 4th of July just to be fucking dumb.
Oh, Independence Day is one of the greatest movies ever.
And it's, as far as like Roland Emmerich jumping the shark early, it's like the beginning of that. But it was very nostalgia filled. Like summer, what the fuck? When did it come out? 96? 97? I don't know. It's very nostalgia. That's what I did instead of watching Phantom of the Opera.
That was might have been a better choice, Jessica.
Oh, and I'm rewatching Lost. There's something like nostalgic about like the mid-aughts for me right now, which makes me feel very old. I'm like, oh yeah, remember 2004 when apple bottom jeans with the fur,
cherry chapstick. I'm feeling that vibe pretty hard myself.
I'm dating myself so bad. Adam, what's your favorite mid-aughts song about lesbians? Go.
Oh, well, I think it was earlier than that. Probably wasn't there some like L7 or Veruca Salt or something like that. They had some good lesbian stuff. But that was like the mid, maybe even mid 90s, early 90s. I don't know. Were there a lot of lesbian songs in the aughts?
No.
Oh,
that
okay.
was just what we were talking about.
Gotcha.
We were just talking about cherry chapstick. It's a thing. It's a thing. My daughter actually listened to that song because, like I said, I've been very nostalgic. So she just heard it. She's 11. Very LGBT pride, loud, I guess. Okay. And so she heard that song and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, did you know this song existed?" I don't even know how it popped up. I had listened to it, and her account is under my account on like YouTube and stuff. And so I think it like advertise that to her, so I should be more careful when I YouTube search in the future. But she listened to it, and like it was like the same look on her face was the same look on my face when I was a girl and it came out. And so it's fun to go back and.
I'm not familiar with it. I'll have to go check it out.
Katy Perry. Oh yeah, go listen to it. It's like my theme song.
I Kissed a Girl and I liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh yeah, I know that song. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was like my theme song in the aughts.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, everybody was
everybody's wearing the cherry chapstick at parties. It was a real winner.
Okay. I didn't know the cherry. What's the cherry chapstick tie-in? Is that what that song's called?
No, that's just what everybody refers to it as. Just because she kissed a girl and she liked it, she had on cherry chapstick. It's just a part of the song.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I've totally sunk the. Yeah. Okay.
It's fine.
All right, real quick, let's try to get on topic. We did it. Send Jana good movie review recommendations.
Rude. That's some people's very favorite movie.
I know it was, but it's not mine. So I'm not gonna like. I'm not going to do the work of watching your stuff with you if it's not good. Sorry.
Well, right. I think that we should make Adam throw out a good op movie that I probably missed.
He doesn't like movies, remember? He hasn't watched one since.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to dig deep here. With me, you either got The Big Lebowski, which is late 90s, or
never seen it.
Oh, it's fantastic. I've seen it probably 100 times. That one I actually do watch. I mean, what do you like Shawshank Redemption ruined movies for me. What else do you need? That's it right there. Boom. You want a movie? Slap it in. Never disappoints.
Yeah.
And it's on Netflix right now, I think.
Is it?
Still.
I need to watch it then.
That would be easy. There's your two choices that now you have to pick from those, Jana.
Shawshank and The Big Lebowski.
Those are good.
Okay, I'll put it up. We'll see what
depressed, happens. I think. Hopefully. All right, let's talk about this real quick. The sale function on Morph Market that you can have a price and then turn it to sale for 72 hours. Do we like this? Is it sort of mid or we don't like this?
Jana, you're up. I think I jumped in last time. Yeah, you're the one.
I don't hate it. I'm ambiguous because I don't do a lot of my sales on Morph Market, and the animals I do put up on Morph Market have to have a certain threshold. And I think this touches back on what Adam said about his Groupon theory. You know, if you're always running those, if you're known for your sales and that's what your actual prices are forever, then that's what people will wait for. And so I worry that might impact the market. But also it's a nice feature to have in any business model to be able to do that on your website. So,
I mean, you've seen like old sales still like in the ad description that they forgot to go back and delete. So it looks goofy. So like this will clean up that kind of stuff where people wanted to run a sale and they forgot to edit everything because they have 500 snakes. So like it'll at least like aesthetically optimize the process of running a sale instead of trying to remember to go back through. So I think it's like a good, neutral good, not chaotic evil. Like some other choices.
I'm okay with it. I think it's going to lead to listing things at a higher price if you know that you're going to run a sale. So like, we won't name names. So there's a massive breeder like, oh, his stuff is overpriced listed, and then he can run a 40% sale, and it's still a good deal, but it's not a 40% deal.
Yeah, not at all. It's like a 10% deal.
Right. But it works from a marketing. I mean, I think it works. He seems to be doing just fine.
I think for the purposes of the sale tab or whatever, it will show that there's like a % drop. You'll be able to like on eBay or something.
Yeah.
Or even on Amazon.
Yeah. So I think maybe that part will be better. Like truly, normally it is $300. And
I'm cautiously optimistic, and we'll see how it affects the market.
Okay.
I like it better to circle all the way back. I like it better in a show setting. If the captive audience, there's a deadline on the captive audience and there's no tomorrow, I'm all right with a sale. And to show noon on Sunday, like I'm
Sunday.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm in deal mode and I do well. I love it. I actually make money when other people are packing up because I'm still like selling. Fine. But if tomorrow's going to come and the market's not going to go anywhere and the people aren't going to go anywhere, then it's less exciting to me.
Yeah, the FOMO part is
the 72
where
hours?
just like the FOMO part in general with a captive audience is where a lot of sales happen. I feel like it shows like the auction is like that. Like you don't get those deals unless you go to the auction.
Right. Sorry,
I'm not gonna do it. But all right, yeah. I mean, I cautiously optimistic. That's good. And the last one, and then we'll finish this party up. Threads. Who has a Threads account? And is anybody excited about it? Does Jana know what it is?
Really? Wow, I know about something that you don't. This is yes.
You will find that often.
I hung around long enough. No, you two know way more stuff than I do.
I only know because she cues me in that way. Nope, never heard of it. No idea what it's doing. I have accounts on social, like Herp Social, and what's the other one?
Reptipost.
That is the extent of the time I've spent on those social media platforms.
Damn it, Jana.
Threads is a little bigger. That's the Facebook Twitter. That's yes. the new Facebook Twitter.
So if you have an Instagram account, you can basically very easily have a Threads account because it's just like, do you want to follow everybody you follow on Instagram again?
Is it like meta linked?
Yeah, it's meta.
Wait, but specifically Instagram. It's like an Instagram sister instead of a Facebook sister. So you won't follow.
But your Instagram can bridge the gap between the two.
You have an Instagram.
I'm all about those kind of social media.
Thread login.
Okay.
Yeah, all those little numbers that are suddenly under everybody's name and their IG profile, that's their Threads handle or number or text or something. I don't know how it works, but that's that.
Yeah, like normally Twitter isn't my platform, but because it's like less reels, maybe it'll become the new Instagram because you'll have your character limit, you'll have a picture. Maybe the people who never liked reels to begin with will go over there and be like pictures, stills for Threads and reels for Instagram for the people who still like it. I don't think it has a messaging function yet. So you wouldn't.
I thought it had a text function. I thought it did. I thought it was like a
direct
text. Yeah,
is there a DM function yet?
I think so. That's
if it does, then that's almost all you need, right? Because you can't post anything publicly.
Right.
But
that's the downside of the meta component of the platform. Right.
I did sign up, and it seems like literally Instagram again, just different.
Yeah.
So I am not the social media giant. I think I have too many as it is, and keeping up with them is not a priority, even though it should be. And adding more accounts literally weekly at this point, for me, feels like it's getting really ridiculous and redundant and unnecessary.
I'm not a good early adopter. Like I want to see what the results are going to be. Like I went to HRP or whatever, and I grabbed my name. I don't want somebody else using the name, but other than that, I haven't been back.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah, I got it. If I need it, it'll be there. And I'm actually reasonably sure that I'll have that on Threads as well. One thing I did notice that actually really pissed me off was when they unveiled Thread. Yeah, I got opinions on this one. When they unveiled Threads, something reset in the alignment, and all my posts stopped from Instagram, stopped being posted to my Proper Royals Facebook page, and were on my Adam Shirah Facebook page. And that Adam Shirah Facebook page is where I do a lot of my professional, like, food and beverage networking, or people know me there.
It's a different hat.
Yeah, it's a different hat, and it's almost a different persona. Like, a lot of those people know me as the dude in a suit and a bow tie, and it screwed me up. And it led to a cool thing, because a buddy was like, "Holy shit, can my kid come check out your snakes?" Yeah, definitely. Come on over, man. That's cool. But it also led to 50 other people going, "The hell are you doing with a snake in your house?" I'm like, "Oh, there's several. I got news for you, pal." So
I mean, but there was reasons that you were keeping it separate, and it.
Yeah. It's two different brands. That's all. It's not that I'm clearly, it's not that I'm not transparent. It's just different brands. But yeah. I went and I tried to fix it, and I can't figure out how to fix it. So now when I post on Instagram, I have to do the extra step of turning off sharing it to Facebook.
Yeah.
And my Facebook Proper Royals is now dying a slow, painful death, even slower and more painfully than it was on Facebook before.
Where it's literally just holding space, but a history of holding space
right.
is better than nothing.
The data will be there. Yeah, I won't hide the data. Yeah.
Benevolent says Threads isn't part of Business Suite yet for those wanting to post to Facebook, IG, and Threads all at the same time. So maybe that's part of it. When that happens,
I will be on board.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Heckler makes fun of Twitch, but there's a gecko auction that happens on Twitch. So like,
no, he's saying you can find him on every social media platform.
I think he's also like joking a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Hence the name.
Actually on Parlor.
And who's actually named Heckler? I'm not sure. Maybe he is.
Right, that is not his real name, but
he's toying with us. Hey, could I have a novel sales pitch? Can I make like a 2-minute pitch and then have you two tear it apart as well as the audience?
This will be our last little do-dangle, so we can.
Perfect. Put me on the clock for 2 minutes. Don't let me ramble.
Oh,
shut
really?
Me up.
I'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Seriously, like
you'll do it.
Pitch. Yeah.
Hang on, she's getting you a timer.
Oh, you got a visual one? Perfect.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sweet.
Power of the internet.
Yeah, this is great. Okay. Now I'm going to get ready.
Just like your elevator pitch. This is a long.
Yeah, just do it. Don't ask questions.
Ready?
Okay.
Gird your loins. He's laughing. Go.
Okay. This is totally serious, and half of it's already been done. I want to hold a Northeast Florida breeder get together. I really loved Warfel's barbecue. I don't want 60, 80, 100 people at my house for many different reasons. So I used some contacts, and the biggest, largest bar in Jacksonville Beach. I can't see my timer though when you do that.
All right.
In Jacksonville Beach, I booked. They have a private room and a private patio, but all the amenities of the bar and food and drink and bathrooms and all that good stuff. And it's a way cooler place to hang out. So October 14th, Saturday, I'm going to host the breeder something or other there. The novel sales idea comes from, I noticed that the guys and girls that host these events tend to sell animals and nobody else does. I don't want to miss out on that. That's the missing component. So catty corner to this pub at the beach is a pretty decent hotel. And I can rent a ground floor corner suite that's about 700 square feet that looks badass, well lit. Throw a rock from the bar over there, and I could set up vendor space in there, and like 2 or 3 of us vend, and that eliminates, I would know who they are. So lower biosecurity concerns, no kids petting, and the bar is getting people, lubricated. That's weird. Softened up for me.
It's not weird. That's the correct term.
Okay. To come on over. And I was transparent with the hotel because they thought I wanted to film porn in there. And once it was clear I wasn't doing that, they're like, yeah, that's fine. So would you buy in to 1/3 of the cost of the room to limit the vendor space to 3 people and have the captive breeder audience drinking at the bar?
How much is the room?
$300.
What's a buy-in?
$300. So $100 each.
Hell yeah.
No brainer, right?
Yeah, no brainer. And you could even do 3 to 5 vendors with 700 square feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now that has the bed in it as well, and the bathroom, and I mean it's so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have like a conference room. You are shooting a porno. I know, and they're lubricated. What are you doing, Adam? You have to tell them what's going.
No, it's a suite because they don't have meeting rooms. No. It's the closest hotel. So we talk about that friction and the hurdle. I wanted the closest one to the bar, so it's across the street from the bar.
It has to be walkable. That's
but
smart.
It's not.
But
there's
the bed's a little weird, Adam.
But it's 2 rooms. There's a suite, so like there's like a bedroom and a living dining area in the front of it, and that's
so what you're saying is the porno's happening in the back bedroom with the lubricated.
That's how you pay for the snakes.
And the snakes are in the living space, because that's what I heard. Still a no-brainer for me. I would absolutely be on board if someone came to me with that offer. I would do it in an instant. It would not. I would do it even if I had to eat the $100 and didn't sell any snakes, because it sounds like a really good time and the potential to sell snakes is pretty high. And you're able to bring not just your like show fodder, you're able to bring your real inventory.
Right. Yeah. And it's a safe, secure place.
And if you're networking, and I assume that this would draw people that are not very regional to you, but like close enough to drive to you.
Right.
You're also opening up the opportunity to make connections and to kind of show off your collection. Which is just as valuable. Like that $100 is advertising, it's networking, it's a very, very good idea. Jessica and I don't know if you listen to all of our 20 million hour shows. We've been kicking around the idea of doing like a Northwest breeder conference.
Right. Yeah.
Of that thing. And it has that same feel, but it's in a very bite-sized, manageable way.
It's almost like a pop-up boutique kind of thing.
Exactly. And I think that the market is very ripe for something of that nature.
Yeah,
it's very, very smart.
Okay, well, what about the fact that it's illegal, Adam? How do you feel about that?
Well, I would say you have to have a class 3 license.
So it would only be like people already in the state vending.
Because of Florida rules?
Yeah. They technically would need to be like to import them into Florida, you'd have to have a health permit. Well, I don't know how many people do that.
How close are you to the border? Just go to Georgia.
Well, no, I mean, it would be to emphasize the activity here in Northeast Florida and all the stuff you were talking about earlier. It'll let me make the connections and network here in my name. I mean, Duval County is massive. There's a huge market.
Can you get a room that doesn't have a bed in it? I'm a little hung up on that emotionally.
You can shut the door to the bedroom. Okay, it's not a bedroom. It's a living area.
There's a psychological thing going on.
I gotta text you a picture of the room.
Go to the church Rex room.
But
they
rent out the bedroom to all those lubricated folks and make extra money.
They're lubricated on both ends.
I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It's also gonna be where I sleep because it's about 45 minutes from my house. So I'm not gonna drive home after this 9-hour shenanigans. No. So I'm getting the hotel room, vendor space.
That bed is DD, okay?
Okay, Adam, stop. You like have like bougie restaurants, right? Don't you know somebody who has like a bougie bed and breakfast restaurant with like an attached wedding venue? You can have the bougie Florida.
I like it. Don't let her talk you out of it.
I think this is like step 1, right? But you already have like food and beverage relationships. And maybe you can do like in the off season, so it's not expensive for wedding conflict.
Most people won't allow. Well, first, then I'm getting into the full on like build a show model versus because like with the bar, I don't have to pay for a food and beverage minimum.
That would burn. Okay.
I gotta
stay hygienic.
It's true. I gotta send you a picture though, because as bothered by it as you already are, they have 2 spotlights on the ceiling.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And is there porno room?
Is there mirrors? Like big mirrors that like point right at the bed, make it really obvious.
No, I'm going to send. It's a nice room. It's
okay.
Like,
I believe you. I'm just razzing you a little bit. We're at the end.
But
you better send it to her right now so she can pull it up.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's do it. It'd be funny because the spotlights intersect on the middle of the bed, and where they intersect, it makes a heart. So there's this heart light spotlight right in the middle of the bed for you. Hang on, I'm going to send it to you. No, but this is a nice venue.
Don't forget the rose petals.
I know. You walk in, there's spa music and rose petals and ball pythons just for you.
I love like the idea of small boutique regional shows that are like clean, hygienic,
that, to be honest,
and actually are about networking instead of like
the breeder aspect of the show,
vending
rather than the show fodder
to the public, just so we could network first and privately. Great, I'm in.
Right.
You just got to make it so it's not as sexy as it sounds right now.
What?
Because right now, Adam, I'm hearing that you want to lubricate us up and get us in the back room.
Right, flower petals. You're right. It's probably going to be so sexy. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't go.
I mean, I don't think it would be for, people to fly in from the Pacific Northwest. This truly is just, hey, come out to Jack's Beach. Let's hang out, get a hotel if you need to. There you go. There's your pictures right there. It's coming. Bam. You should have them.
Is it coming to my Instagram or Holdback Instagram?
Holdback Rack podcast. It's where the link was the whole time.
Snake? I'm just saying, be real careful that it doesn't turn into the, do you want to see my snake in the back bedroom?
Well, my wife and son will be there.
I know. I'm just saying that it could very easily tip that way when people are lubricated and everyone's joking, and it just there are lines that need to be.
The party would be at the bar, and this wouldn't be like, hey, tours every 15 minutes. It'd be like, oh yeah, I got one of those over there. Come check it out, kind of thing.
All right, I can't see it because the desktop version, you sent them as just email them to me. Can you do that?
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Well, maybe.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Or we could never do it. But I'm just going to imagine it's really.
I was excited. Now, I will tell, in fairness, one of my biggest dealer or breeder contacts that I hold in incredibly high esteem, he thinks I'm nuts. He's like, I'm not doing that. I don't want the space. I'll come drink and hang out, but I'm not figuring that out.
I would say yes in a heartbeat, and I think there's a lot of other businesses that would say yes. It
just depends on
doesn't seem like I'm kissing your ass, but the time and effort you put into your branding to that entry level breeder or the the $1,000 to $2,000 snake range is already there, and so it's not like you need to bring in a headliner with you.
Right.
And so there's a lot of opportunity for someone that's smaller like me or someone of that level to come in and join you and also gain a lot of exposure through your name. And I think that has value as well.
Well, and I think the fact that maybe there isn't a headliner there would make it appetizing to somebody that otherwise might feel overwhelmed to try and vend. I don't know. All right. They got to upload.
It's all right. You're doing great.
Don't worry. I'll just set up my kissing booth in the back room.
What?
I'll give you a percentage of the sales. It'll be fine. It's totally not illegal.
It's good. Props and all that. Okay. It's coming through for you. When you get it, you'll see. But
all right.
So I was excited about it. My wife is lukewarm about the idea. Like I say, the other breeder, he was like, I'll come party if I'm around. But he was like, no, I don't think I'm going to buy in on that. I was like, okay.
I mean, maybe step one is to do just a dinner and just be like, who's around and wants to come to dinner?
I think do it exactly how you pitched it. And I don't think you'll be sorry. It may not be successful the first time you do it, but I think just because people in this industry don't like new ideas. And so they're all a little cranky when somebody tries a new idea. And so you have to be that person that pushes them because, like I said, all of us are a little antisocial and we don't like change. And so you're going to have to fight that abrasiveness. And once you get through it, then I think people are going to be like, oh, actually, that was really successful. And next time, can I be the person that comes?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to do. So you may have to have a less successful one in order for it to become a successful thing. So
I like the business models when I can say, what do I have to lose? I don't think there's anything to lose on this.
Not at
We're gonna
all.
have a blast. The bar is hooking it up. Look at that room. Wouldn't that be great to set up like 3-4 vendors?
That's great. Yeah, because you can move most of the furniture to the bedroom while you're doing it, and that's a lot of space. No, I think this is a phenomenal idea.
There's the heart in the bed.
So it's all open. There isn't a door.
Yeah, it's in the back side. Yeah, the bed's around the back wall right there.
But I still think that that's actually useful because you could still use the space.
Right.
Well, I think it's a wonderful idea. I think you should do it. If you do it, hopefully you take some videos and you report on it, obviously on your podcast. Like, I cannot wait to hear how it goes. I think that people are going to be kicking themselves that they didn't jump on it at the chance. And I think people are going to be kicking themselves that they hadn't thought of it.
Yeah, well, like I say, I've got it lined up. So, I mean, October 14th, the get together is going to happen. And then I guess the question is, do I just host my own like display in there, or do I try and invite others to go in?
You can try, but just go with it with the mentality that you may have to break ground and it may just be you. But I think you'll sell a $300 snake.
I think so too.
I really do. And so I think that it's going to be 1,000% worth your time. And I think it's a foundation for something really great.
Do you have people who are just coming locally, period? I guess is my question, that you already know will come and drink it.
This is only the second time I've ever made mention of this happening to anybody. So
heard it here first, people.
Yeah, they're learning about it. But yeah, I think that there's a handful of people that'll come hang out, and I think that there's opportunity to market through shops, local show, like the next few shows that I do. It being not till October, and then
that barbecue
Instagram
drew a crowd from not just regionally.
And
so I think that the potential for us breeders to have that kind of real get together that we actually crave in the vending aspect that we don't really have time to enjoy, and to bring the higher end animals, I think that it has opportunity to be a whole facet to the industry, and a newer way that we do it, because a lot of people will pay to go to these shows because they crave that hangout and networking time with the other vendors, not because they want to sell their show fodder, but because they want to network and they want to get to know the people in their community that are doing the same things as them. And so providing an opportunity where you take the customer base or the public customer show fodder base out, and the kids and all that, and everybody's able to let their hair down and relax and really network and communicate with each other.
Yeah.
I think that the industry needs this so bad. And I think that it's going to be wildly successful. I
think it's going to be fun. I'm going to have again, I go back to what I had to lose. I got the $300 to lose, but a night out, a weekend out with my wife and son. We're down at the beach. We're hanging out in one of my favorite pubs. They're going to have live music. There's going to be a bar.
I would go, and I'm across the country, and it sounds like a good time.
Like, it's a private room and a private patio.
Brotherhood's offering to host your Pomona City.
Panama.
Panama City.
That's about 5 hours away is the like this in my backyard. Like I say, it doesn't bother me, but I really want, I don't think I deserve it. I want to go earn it, but I want to be the number one breeder in the market here. And I think that this, it's not self-serving that way. I think building a community goes a long way in achieving that, is what I really mean by that.
It's an intentional step in the direction that you have goals for. And I think that it's a really good one.
Plus it's fun. Like the old make your vocation your vacation. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? I'm working, partying at Lynch's and selling snakes in a suite on the beach.
Yeah.
See ya.
No. I'm like, I need to plan one of those right now.
Well, that's what I was trying to shoot holes in it. Again, I was transparent with the hotel. They could have said, no, you can't do that. But then I would have been like, well, I got a room and I got friends. We're going there, I don't know.
Justin's saying that he's local with Adam. So
yeah, Justin's
hi
cool.
to Justin.
I think Justin's coming out to the gig this weekend too, which is cool.
So Carpet Fest. I just want to hit on this because I know that there's one local to me. That's how they format it. Is that somebody will host it regionally and everybody will come out, and it's like BYOB, but everybody brings a bunch of drinks. Everybody has a good time. They're showing pictures of their snakes if they haven't brought them. The people that are local, that some of them bring their snakes, like you're saying, and it's a and it's a really good networking experience and a fun time. And I think it's something that we all crave in this industry and that we're lacking. And I think that that's what they've turned or are trying to turn like the NARBCs to, where everybody flies in and tries to be in the same space. But if you were flying in to do something like this, it's more valuable than a regular show with the public, to me.
Yeah. Do you think there's like you said the model that you're talking about there in your area, how often do they do those? Like, is there a market for like, hey, 12 people want to vend in that boutique setting, so maybe we need to do 4 of these a year kind of thing? Or does it get watered down, or how does it work in your, and what do you see?
Jessica, are they doing sales at the Carpet Fest, or are they just getting hammered and showing their snakes off?
The reason why I bring this up is Carpet Fests are basically like Orville's barbecue, where it's a party and some sales happen and some people bring stuff to get picked up, or they trade feeders or whatever.
But I think this is a very intelligent and needed advancement of that format, is what I'm trying to say. And so if you do have snakes there, people are going to bring their money, they're going to buy. And I don't think it's a watered down thing. I think if you try it at twice a year and you have more interest and you have people wanting it, that I think people would do 4 times a year. And I think that everyone would benefit from it, like socially, networking, and people who choose to vend. I think it's a benefit for all, and I'm excited to see how it goes. So thank you for being the guinea pig.
Oh, yeah, thank you all for.
It depends on like, your market. So if you make the market want that, they will do it. Like if you build it, they will come, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I couldn't do that here. I live in the fucking middle of nowhere. There's not enough people here, period, to produce like 10 breeders and 15 guests that would even want to do a micro.
But there is where I'm at.
Yes, where you are. So
and I absolutely could see people jumping on board with that hard. And I already can like envision it all and like where it is. And it makes sense in my head. And don't let the no changers prickle you away from the idea, because I think it really is a good one. Carissa, I just want to say congratulations. She opened a bin and has eggs this morning. That's always a great day.
Marshall says he's flying into Jacksonville. Marshall, I'd love to meet you in Daytona. I think my carload's full. Otherwise, I'd offer to get you there. But I'd love to meet you. I've seen you in all the different places. It'd be cool to catch up.
Marshall's amazing.
That's what I hear.
Are you doing Tinley or Arlington this year? I guess I want Daytona, but yeah,
I want to do. Sorry, my calendar is normally over there, so I went to go look at it, and it's, like I say, it's all torn apart in here right now. I don't know. I want to, but this event would be the weekend after Tinley, so I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm pretty excited about this event, so I'm not sure. Maybe I'll hold off till March to go to Tinley.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, why couldn't I just catch a flight to Arlington? It all depends on sales. Like I'm pretty open on. I'm really, really focused on the snakes right now rather than the consulting and music. So like if the sales and the revenue are there and it makes sense, then I probably will hop a cheap flight and go.
Yeah, I think people treat Arlington specifically for ball pythons as like the getaway destination for ball python breeders.
And the time to interact with the other people in the industry.
It's because it's not as big of a show. It doesn't take as long to walk it. So they're like, we're getting an Airbnb. We've talked to a couple people who've done it. And I know even more people, or they'll go down to LSR and like visit the same weekend. So their party is at that time. So it's like not the same idea, but it's like a destination networking event. Not that I've ever networked there because I just leave. So don't listen to me.
I tried to be really strategic. Like the weekend before is Tinley and the Pembroke Pines show, which is Miami. So that's that weekend. The weekend after is like the Blue Angels Air Show, which just the beach turns into New York City. So that's no good.
No.
And then the following weekend is Florida Georgia weekend, which is another. I mean, like 100,000 people come to town. Like that, you can't get a hotel room in town that weekend. So it's that weekend, and then I get busy. Oh, and there's no other shows that month in Florida. That's like the one time that there's no other shows. So it was like, all right, I'm doing that one.
All right. Oh, well, report back.
I will.
I want a
Good.
full Adam-worthy analysis.
Also,
afterwards.
I want a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, there'll be a spreadsheet.
There'll be one.
But there's not really that many line items on it. Like it's going. It's.
So are they being fed at the restaurant on their own dime, or are you catering some portion, some snackies because they're drunk?
I am going to. I'm going
Water?
to leave that. Yeah, water. I'm going to leave that all on them. Like they're
And that's fair, and I don't think people will have a problem with that.
Yeah, because. And I was going to say, because then I have to cover, charge a cover charge, but then it's, you're going to spend $400 or $500 feeding people, and
it makes less sense when you start doing that.
Right. If I sell $10,000 worth of snakes, hell yeah, we're going to have a buffet, and I'm going to open the damn bar up. Like we're going to make it work, but I don't know that yet. That's yet to be proven.
I agree.
Yeah, I
want a full every detail you have in that brain, because I know you're detail oriented, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say about it afterwards.
All right. Maybe I should do a YouTube video. I could advertise and provide content. That's the winning.
I'm expecting that. That's what I'm saying is I'm expecting, if you don't, we're going to call your ass back here and ask you 10,000 questions.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I would do it.
Like how many people ended up in your bed that night, and I don't mean in a skeevy way. Anyway,
there's the cat. He's also here.
Hi, Stoneage. It's one of our sponsors.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that about finishes up. Anything else, everybody?
So why don't you just once again state that information for people who are local to you? October 14th.
October 14th, Saturday. It's not like super. I haven't signed on the dotted line with the pub, so I can't exactly say the pub, but it's the largest pub in Jack's Beach. You guys will know it. It's massive. It'll be there. I think we'll do it from like 2 p.m. till we get to private room till 9:30 at night, and then the band starts at 10. You can still party in the bar. And it sounds like I'm going to rent a suite and have some snakes on display as well, if you want to check those kinds of things out.
And if they're interested in vending with you at that event, can they message you?
Yeah, message me, email me, all that good stuff. And also, if you're planning on coming, email me, just so I can give the bar a heads up. Like, if there's 20 people coming, I want them to know that, and I need to figure out how to take care of the bartender. If there's 200 people coming, they also need to know that, yeah. and then the bartender is going to get really well taken care of. So just give me a heads up, but no cover. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to be like in the club or anything. I'm a big everybody eats from the same table and sits at the same level kind of playing field kind of guy. So come on out.
Yeah, I wish I could. I would be there in a heartbeat. It's gonna be monumental. You wait. I said it here first, even though Jessica shook her head no, and Jessica's always right. And I'm right about this one.
Shake my head. I just don't know if it should have a bed in it. That's all.
I'm gonna have every person that comes through the room like take a picture in the bed that they message.
Yeah, hashtag.
We're gonna have to send you like a HRP like backdrop, like Instagram backdrop.
Yeah, you have to do selfies on the bed now.
Oh, we should do a fundraiser with it. Yeah, no, send me like an HRP like logo.
And we'll do like a fundraiser, like a $5 to US Arc Florida.
Yeah,
thing.
if you want to take a picture in the bed, it's $5 to US Arc.
Oh my God, we should really just print out pictures of us in the bed because we're not there, and then they could take a picture with us in
like
the bed.
Yes,
yes, just like our heads and like shoulders, and you can like stick it in the blankies, and then they can lay down beside us. Send that to USR. $25.
All right, I'm gonna message you about this because I was serious.
Can you order like a Snuggie with like your like oh, that's my favorite thing from the early mid-aughts is the Snuggies. That was the shit.
You need your arms sometimes, you know.
Every now and again, yeah. When a blanket just won't cut it, we'll give you a Snuggie. Yeah. All right. That's hey, thank you for having me. This is really fun. I've looked forward to it for a long time, and
it's
like
long overdue.
Yeah, I've been like nervous to ask, you know, like it feels like I'm almost like hitting on somebody that could be like, no. I'm like, okay, I won't ask.
Yeah, lots of people like have asked, and then we're like, we just suck at planning, and I like this like when it feels good, just do it.
Like it's the right moment.
I'm like, it's time to do Adam. Let's
time to do it.
Well, and it was no, it was just like 46 hours notice. You're like, do you want to come on? I was like, yeah.
That's
when?
how we roll. We don't
and you're like Thursday now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show up or don't. This is your
Okay.
chance.
Yeah, I'm in. I guess. Let's go.
Yeah, if you did like not want to do it, we probably would have like drifted off like a bunch of like ADHD kids to some other topic, and it would not even to be offensive, but we probably wouldn't have like booked you out further. We'd just been like, whatever, that's fine. We'll see you in 6 months.
Yeah, well, I know things that I book guests every week, 52 weeks a year. Like it's exhausting. When people like don't get back to me and they're like, "Oh, I'm available now." I'm like, "I'm full now. I don't need you now. I needed you then."
Yeah,
like,
that's not how we roll. We're just
right.
like,
Yeah,
you're tickling our fancy today. Come on the show.
perfect.
1 hour's notice.
Yeah, I mean, because we can always do something solo if we need to, so there's no like pressure.
Right.
So it's just a different like show format model, and that's what I prefer. But then like if a human tickles our fancy, it's very easy to be like, let's go, we're ready.
See if they're out there.
Yeah,
like I said, this one's been on the to-do list for a long time, and this just felt like the right time. And I'm glad we did it now because we got to hear all about your great idea. And like I said, I think it's going to be a game changer in the industry. I think a lot of people are going to steal that model for their own local networking opportunities, and I'm really excited about the idea. I might start looking into booking one.
I was say it's not proprietary. Like go do it. It'll be good for our industry. It checks some of the boxes of you all's concerns. Like I really thought about you all's concerns with shows when I was thinking this up, and I was like, how do we get around these challenges? And then you just go pound the pavement and knock on doors and see what's out there.
Mm-hmm. And I think everyone should do one anyway. Every major metro area
needs to have one at least once a year.
This could like turn back into like having herp societies and
right.
We need to get back into the business
trading snakes
of spending
them
face to face. COVID, I think, kind of in every industry, made us more comfortable not seeking those opportunities out, and I think we need to bring them back because it's not COVID anymore. People let's
even pre-COVID, herp societies are like an endangered species. Where like people just get together to talk about reptiles. Period. So like,
add drinks and the possibility that someone could buy your, $1,000 to $5,000 animals. I'm there every time.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is a good plan. The cat is here. He's joined us. I'm glad we're all here. All right, let's say goodbye to our beautiful people. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
I love you.
We'll catch you next week. Thank you, Adam, for joining us. And if you guys want to get involved in his local show event,
he's looking for fluffers and talent
and cardboard cutouts.
Talent.
You're gonna have waitresses walking around like little Hooter waitresses.
Hell yeah! Coochies don't.
Next time, guys. Next time.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.